What's up, YouTube? This is Micah C here again, and today I'm going to give you my top 30 edge rushers for the 2020 NFL Draft. Hopefully, it is still going to be happening, all the stuff that's going around, but I'm actually hearing that fans probably ain't going to be able to attend, but they're still going to do it possibly old school, which is actually kind of pretty cool. I have attended a couple in person, and they are pretty cool to do in person, but having them do like a throwback one this year because of all what's going on, I'm actually pretty interested to see how it goes. So, before we really get started, if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and click on that. Click a like. Give me some feedback. I'm always curious to see what you guys are saying. And let's go ahead and get it started. At number 30, I have James Smith-Williams, North Carolina State. He was one of the fastest defensive linemen in this draft, decent size. He gets around the edge pretty good, but he needs work on tackling. He probably won't get drafted this year, just like Trevon Hill from Miami. Decent career. He also gets after the quarterback. He just needs more polish. Guys like this aren't going to get drafted, but they could be on somebody's practice squad. Get an invite, training camp, all that stuff. But those two are just two players in my top 30 I don't see getting drafted. My sleeper of this draft, my true sleeper, is the 28th ranked at a James Madison University. Got pictured here, Rondell Carter. He had 23 career sacks at James Madison with a great motor. And I think he could be a huge gem. He reminds me a lot of those small, undersized rushers, but he's got decent size to him. He's 6'3", I believe 255. But he gets after a quarterback like Elvis Dumervil, who hasn't played in a couple years. He reminds me of someone like him. And I can see him truly being a find in this draft, and you can get him in the later rounds because there's a lot of depth here in the edge rushers, and I didn't think there was until I really went through this. And it's not as strong, like top heavy like it is the wide receivers, but it's still got some depth in this draft. And I think Rondell Carter is going to be the best sleeper in this draft. 27, Carter Coughlin. At Minnesota, he is the third all-time sack leader with 22.5. He's going to be more of a special teams type player. He's worthy of a draft pick. Maybe he gets on the right squad and then does some damage. Same with the Kendall Coleman. He had a great senior year. Before that, he didn't really get too noticed. He is limited with his tackling. He gets after the quarterback. I see him maybe special teams, but more of a specialist when it comes to just obvious passing situations. I don't see him doing much after that. Next up, Oluwo Bedeku, Illinois, transfer from USC. He's a great athlete. Can play in any scheme, 3-4, 4-3. He can fit anywhere on the line, especially on passing downs. He's got to work on his run recognition when it comes to like being able to depict on if it's going to be run play or pass play. But besides that, he's raw, so once he gets to coaching, he could be also a find in this draft. And we got Bryce Sterk out of Montana State. He had 15 sacks this past year. He's going to be that guy that's coming off the edge in a 3-4 more than anything. I don't see him playing in a 4-3. If he were to, he's going to need some more bulk and more strength. But he's somebody that gets after the quarterback. And I'm going to say this a lot about a lot of these players, especially on this page here. They're all gems in my mind because there's somebody, at least half of these guys I think are going to produce quietly in their first couple seasons. And maybe one or two of them might actually be a future starter for somebody. Travis Gibson, another guy out of Tulsa. He's a special teams ace, though, with great strength and technique. He was a late bloomer, so he still needs some polish. I think he'll stand out on somebody's special teams for the first year or two and fill in when needed. Get some coaching, coach him up, and I could see him being someone that sticks around for years. Jonathan Garvin, speedy outside linebacker type. More 3-4 than a 4-3. Also, he just didn't really have the production as expected, but he's got some talent. So if somebody's patient to give him some coaching, he could be someone that could stick on a team for a couple years, if not more. Alex Highsmith, another gem. He's a great story about him, though. He's a former walk-on, UNC Charlotte. And UNC Charlotte this year has a lot of guys I think is going to get drafted. He had 14 sacks this past year. He's got linebacker skills. He can play a 4-3-3-4 off the edge. He just needs more strength. He's going to be a passing guy, down situation guy in the beginning, but give him some time, and he'll be someone that's going to be worth, coaching and keeping around. Next, we got Anfernee Jennings. He's one of those thick edge rushers, 4-3 guy. He could also play the 3-4 linebacker. He's still learning. He did have some bad injuries, though, during college, so that's what saw his stock drop. And also, with anybody at Alabama, they're well coached. Their IQ is high. They are a little played. They're overplayed in my mind just because if I guess every team that comes out every year, Alabama, they have depth. I just see them, something about that team always has injury problems as well. But Anfernee Jennings, he's worth a mid-4th round pick. Then we got Jabari Zuniga from Florida. He's a better 3-4 outside linebacker prospect. He could get on a 4-3. He'll just have to bulk up a little bit. And he's got good strength. Just he could easily get pushed around if he's got his hand in the ground by the tackles. He's also going to need some more speed as well and knowledge. So he's someone that you get in the 4th round. You put him on a practice squad for a year, see if he develops. If not, he'll probably get released and be on another team if they're worthy to give him a shot as well. Nick Coe, part of a great defensive line there at Auburn this year. He can play all over the line. That's going to be very valuable. He's very strong, one of the strongest defensive linemen in this draft. The thing is, his length isn't going to be an issue. So if he's gonna, I think he's gonna be at his best if he's gonna be in that nose tackle position on obvious passing downs, or he might even move into the defensive tackle position and just be one of those smaller but fast pass rushers from the inside. Alton Robinson. The thing about him, there's red flags all over the place with this guy. This is his 3rd college team. He had stints 2 places elsewhere besides Syracuse. The reason why he's able to be in a college team, though, is the fact that he does have the talent. Those red flags may ultimately lead to him not getting drafted this year. Totally understandable, I guess. He's quick out the gate. He had 19 and a half career sacks at Syracuse in 3 years. Those red flags are going to be a concern. If he gets drafted in the right program, they can keep him under control, then he'll be worthy of a 4th round pick. Khalid Kareem, he dropped a little bit. I had him as a 2nd round pick earlier in the year. But between him not really standing out like I thought he would and all these other guys showing up like they did, he is a late 3rd round guy for me. He can play. I see him as a 3-4 edge rusher more than anything. He's a high motor, endless energy. He's going to give you everything he's got because the talent isn't really there. So if somebody gets him some tutelage, learns some better techniques, he could be a steal in the 3rd round. Kenny Wilkes, he's also a former walk-on, 2-time first team All Big Ten. That shows a lot. He's got a big bag of counter moves. He doesn't have the length specifically. He doesn't have the speed that you really want. He's a 4-3 end for sure. More of a run-stuffing end. Not going to get after the passer as much, but he's going to be a great bookend with somebody. Like if he gets on a team that has a speed pass rusher like a Chandler Jones or Von Miller on one side and he's on the other side, that's great bookends. So if he gets on a team like that where they're worried about the guy on the other end that's collecting 12, 15 sacks a year, Kenny can get to that 10 sack apart just off that ability because he does have some skill. He just needs to get faster and stronger. But I also see him. He was a late first round pick before the season started, and as I said, there's just so much talent. He just kind of dropped, but he could be also a steal this late in the draft. So Darrell Taylor, he's best as a stand-up outside linebacker in the 3-4. Gets by the corner with speed and ease. I mean, he's got great bend. He is going to be someone that can come out the gate and surprise with possibly 8 to 10 sacks in his rookie year on just maybe 40% of the snaps. Obvious passing down type situation, or he could end up taking a starting role. He just needs a better feel for the game. That'll come. But a team taking a chance on him in the third round, it would not shock me. Jonathan Greenard. He was compared to a Carl Lawson who played at Auburn a couple years back. Now is with Cincinnati. He can fit in any scheme. Also, he's got all that versatility. Looks the part of an edge rusher. Just needs better bend and upper body strength. But he put up decent numbers at Florida, and he's worthy of a third-round pick. Also pictured here, Jason Strongbridge. I wasn't sure if I was going to put him with the defensive lineman or the edge. He's not big enough in my mind to be, like, I think he's at 265. I mean, he's like 6'4", 6'5", like 265. I don't think he's a D lineman type, unless you're going to put him in passing downs only situations in a 3-4 or a 4-3. If not, I see him, someone being sneaky good as a 4-3 end because of his great hand activity. His size strength combo is there. He's not, as I said, he's just not like a big edge guy or a defensive lineman. So that's why I have him here at the edge. He could move inside permanently, but he also the thing with him, he's not consistent enough. So define his position. Is it going to be 4-3 in, 4-3 defensive tackle? Is he going to be inside? Or is he just going to be a pass rush specialist from the inside? Once the team that drafts him decides that, stick with it. Let him work. Let him grow. He can be a great find in this draft. And then at 11, we got Julian Okwara. Another guy just looks the part. He's got a knack for finding the ball and then stripping it. It's ridiculous how many times I've seen the video of this guy. And then like almost every other video is about him just finding that ball, and that's going to get him drafted. I would not be surprised if he's a first-round pick, and I also would not be surprised if this guy leads the league one day in strip sacks. It was amazing to watch. The thing is, he just needs more strength, and he's also a little too reliant on his length. So get him some more moves to be able to just tackle those quarterbacks, but at the same time, if you just want what he's been doing in college, he's going to be a great find for a team. At 10, we got Terrell Lewis. Great explosion, well built. He's got great initial quickness, a huge tackle radius. Just like other Alabama players, though, some red flags and injury prone. He could shake them, end up being a first-round pick, even a steal in the first round or second round because he has the talent. But here, I have him possibly going late second round. Curtis Weaver was going up and down between probably 3rd overall, 15th overall on my rankings this past season. He had a great season, and he's the Mountain West all-time sack leader. Explosion with great speed and bend. I don't know where he's going to fit, though. I don't see him as a 3-4 edge. So he can be the other end. If you have Kenny Wilkes on one side and a player like Weaver on the other, that's going to wreak havoc. And I think Curtis Weaver can be someone that can put up potentially 12 to 15 sacks a year. At 8, we got Bradley Anae. Great run stopping end. That's another person you compare with Weaver right there. And you got great bookends for the rest of for 5 to 10 years that would get the runners and get the passers. With Anae, he's more tech savvy than speed or strength. He lacks that true explosion, but the numbers were there. He had a great Senior Bowl. He moved up a lot because of that. and he is also someone that's going to be worthy of a second round pick. Joshua Uche, very fast riser to me in these mocks with his speed and his bend. He could play the Sam backer in a 4-3, but he's probably going to be an edge rusher in a 3-4. But he can play either or, so that's what's going to be great about him. He just needs more strength. So if he is going to be a 4-3 linebacker, just be stronger against the ball carriers, like any of these bigger backs. He's going to have a tough time taking down, but if he's someone that's going to be going after the quarterback, he can be putting up double-digit sacks year in, year out. At 6, one of my favorite players in this upcoming draft, because of a recording I heard on the local sports radio about how he loves the fact that he can be a man that beats up another man and doesn't go to jail for it. Like, this guy wants to just bully somebody in a good way. Now, I don't believe in bullying by no means, but when it comes to playing football, you got to be that type. You got to be that strong guy. And at Auburn, I mean, he was the team captain with all the talent that was on that team with Nick Coe and Derek Brown. He was the team captain, so he was a leader. He didn't have the talent of Derek Brown, but he's a 4-year starter at Auburn, and that says a lot. And he could play a 4-3 or 3-4. He just lacks that explosiveness, and he's somebody who can be moved inside. So I'm really interested to see where he's going to end up. But any team that gets him, they're getting a player. At 5, we got Zach Bond. Very versatile. Someone whose stock rose greatly over the season. He can play any linebacker position. He could even be in your inside linebacker. The guy has got a knack for finding the ball. He could be an edge in a 4-3 or a 3-4. His versatility is there. Tweener type because of his size, but he is someone that's going to possibly put up double-digit sacks his first year because people are not going to expect what he can do. AJ Apencia, great size, strong 4-3 end, maybe the 3-4. He had a horrible combine. He was looked at as guaranteed the number two end in this draft. As far as saying he was a top 5 pick, and he just started trickling down, and the farthest I see him falling would be the Patriots at 23. The Patriots love guys like him, so he's not going to fall past there. So I truly see him going anywhere between the Panthers at 7 and Patriots at 23. I'll say it now. I don't see him going any earlier than that or any later than that. At 3, Yetur Gross-Matos at Penn State. He's got great size to him for all the intangibles he brings to the table. He's very twitchy with great length and bend and burst. He got compared to DeMarcus Lawrence in one book I was reading in our magazine. He's still growing into his frame too, so this guy is still growing, and I'm not sure where he's gonna fit right now. He can fit in any scheme, 4-3 and the 3-4 stand up. He even slide inside in 3-4 and passing downs. He's got that ability, and he's another guy I'm really interested in seeing who grabs him and what they do with him, because they can get a special talent with this guy, and he's someone that will be a mid-first round pick. If he falls a little bit far now, I'm not surprised now either, because there's a lot of talent. There could be a lot of run on wide receivers or offensive linemen in this draft. But whoever picks up Gross-Matos is going to get a player that with a lot of talent. At 2, we got K'Lavon Chaisson, LSU national champ. Great explosion. He seems to know every snap count. Like, watching this guy's tape, it's like he's the one that's the quarterback. Like, he's him in the center and sync. Like, the center might as well hike him the ball. It's ridiculous how he gets off the snap. And with combine that with nice hand swipe moves. If it weren't for a torn ACL in 2018, the talent is there. He may not have this explosion and all that he used to have, but it's for suffering that ACL injury, which is still not easy to recover. Jeffrey Simmons this past year tore it at the end of the college football season, then had a great season for Tennessee halfway. He came back in, I think, October. So people can recover and still have a solid career. I'm hoping that for Chase on here. And if he does, Chase, if it weren't for that, Chase Young would have had competition as a talk. But I could also be talking out of the realm with that one because speaking of Chase Young, he is the obvious number one prospect in this draft. Chandler Jones comparisons all over the place. Amazing pass rushers. He's so slippery to block. Definitely more of a 4-3. He'll stand up if he has to. He'll do whatever you want him to do. And for him to just ridiculously make it look easy for him to get sacks, if he didn't get suspended, he could have put up 20 sacks this year. I mean, and his suspension was just dumb. It looks bad to mark on him, but I wish Chase Young would fall to my Giants at 4. Oh gosh, we could use him, but whoever gets him is going to be getting the best player to me. And obviously, I'm no draft expert, but they're going to get the best player in this draft. This is someone that is going to be putting up 15 to 17, possibly even 20 sacks a year. This guy has a knack for sacking the quarterback. And if it weren't such a quarterback envy league, he would obviously be number one overall. And if the Bengals took him number one overall, I would not be upset with that pick just because of how great this guy is. But quarterback-driven league, it's not going to happen. But Chase Young, my number one edge rusher for this draft. All right, guys, thanks for watching. As you see here, we got the great Lawrence Taylor back in North Carolina days and had a great career for my Giants. I'm trying to get these videos out. Everything that's going on in the world right now. I hope everybody is healthy and safe. I'll give you guys all my wishes and blessings. I'll have some linebackers and secondary coming out as soon as I can. And don't forget to subscribe and like, all right? Till then, everybody, please be safe.